Welcome everyone. The topic for the day is creativity, innovations and leaderships. This will be a quite of 16 to 18 minutes of presentation. Will be short, will be sweet, will enable you to understand out of box solutions as far as innovations, leadership and creativity is all about it. Let us proceed with the presentation. First and foremost is your agenda. What are the things that we will be covering around? Yes, the various steps in creative process is what we will discuss around it. Identify characteristics of creative problem solver. That is, what is the demand that has been persisting within these the organizations, with the community, with the society. Be prepared to overcome the traditional thinking and look for out of box solution, look to be creative, look to manipulate resources, probably integrated process and functional areas all together, and come up with something new, something novel as far as creativity and innovation is all about it. Remember, you can be creative person, but until and unless it is being actually supported and mooted by the organization, the creative problem solving does not take a shape and does not see the light of the day. And that is what we are looking as for this particular agenda. Explain as a leader. Remember, the topic is creativity, innovations, and leadership. As a leader, how can an organization have conducive environment to foster creativity? Identify several leadership practices that contributes to the organizational innovation, as the case might be. We are talking about nothing but creativity and innovation. Creativity is the production of novel and useful ideas, absolutely ideas which have not been tried, tested, or probably has seen the light of the day till the moment you have espoused upon it. Innovation refers to the creation of new ideas. New ideas is just an idea in your mind until and unless it has been executed and implemented. Remember, innovation is not only creation of ideas but also the implementation of the ideas thereby. It's why do we organize organizational creativity is all about. It is the creation of valuable, useful, economical product, which is an idea, procedure by which working together individuals can form or probably come to certain complex solutions to the social system that exists as of today. So let us understand the 5 steps. There are 5 steps to creative process altogether. First and foremost thing is to identify the problem, the opportunity. Whenever I say identify a problem, some of you or many of you might be thinking about an opportunity that, because to some it might reflect as a problem, to others it might recognize as an opportunity. Based upon this is where you will look into the immersion or dissection of the problems to the viable options that can be generated to solve it. Now, once the options have been dwelled upon it, you need to cross the ways and cons as to what are the positives and negatives in the incubation period. And this is what we are looking for it, giving an insights in the step 4. Verification and application, as the case might be, is what we are looking forward to. Remember, verification application is whether the market is actually applying, actually observing the new product, as the case might be. So characteristics, let us understand the creative leaders are all about it. What does it makes or what does it take to be an effective creative leader? Number one, they should be proficient in their field. Absolutely. They are the best in the lots as far as intellectual stimulation, their field, their process is concerned. Challenge the status quo thereby. Share many characteristics that can be divided into 4 major categories. Remember what we are talking about it. Absolutely 4 major categories that comes around in and around as on around basis. So we will talk about the characteristic. Here is a photograph of a person who are supposed to be not only knowledgeable. Remember, he or she has to be wonderfully knowledgeable and keeping himself or herself abreast with the situation. The cognitive abilities should be very sharp, very intelligent person, will be intellectually curious and ability to think concurrently and divergently as much as possible. This is what the person intrinsic quality should be. It should be a passion for a task flow. But then what should be the personality? He or she should be non-conformist, as in willing to take risk, self-confident about the opportunity that has been presented in front of himself or herself. The person should be thrill-seeking, energetic, and persistent with all his attributes that comes around it. And this is what we are looking forward to. This is the characteristics of creative leaders are concerned. Let us understand the component theory. The component theory of individual creativity. Remember, there are only three components, which, when joined together, creates marvelous effect, creates a journey, creates a product, creates a service which thrills everyone. Now, those three components are expertise and knowledge that has been put through. The creative thinking, the ability to imaginatively solve a problem, solving out of box. Task motivation is persevering or sticking with the problem to a conclusion. As the case might be, this is what we are looking forward to. So, outside the box thinking, a box in a sense of a category that confines and restricts. Whenever you are given a problem, you will always think within the constraints of the environment or the traditional knowledge that it happened emboldened upon it. A creative person is not confined. A creative person would try to test the things, service, products in a different fashion, which has not been earlier tested, but sees an opportunities outside the box. And that is what has been meant by outside of the box thinking, as the case might be. Organizational method is to enhance creativity. Now, there are the organization which should create appropriate climate, appropriate environment which fosters creativity, systematically collect fresh ideas. Now we are talking about the 653 method, wherein the six ideas are being populated, the five ideas are working, and three ideas can be test marketed, as the case might be. It's a pet peeve technique that comes around it, as far as probably screening the ideas as on when on basis. Use the forced association technique, as the think is about it. Equip a kitchen for the mind. Absolutely. You have all the ingredients in your mind, and you need to go about and come up with a viable solution thereby. Engage in playful physical activities, as the classic sense should be doing around. We should have a pet peeve technique is a method of brainstorming in which a group identifies all the possible complaints other might have for the group and the organizational unit, as the case is around it. And this is what we are talking. We are managing every now and then. How do you go about it? This is a fact thing that needs to be understood as on when on basis, right? So it's a method of brainstorming in which a group identifies all possibilities of complaints, everything that the organization signifies, as the case might be, and this is what we are looking forward to. Let us help with the self-help techniques for creative innovation. Now, there are six self-help techniques. One is having a creativity enhancing exercises, obviously keeping your mind agile, your cognitive abilities as focused as possible, staying alert to the opportunities, maintaining an enthusiastic attitude, including being happy, maintaining and use of systematic plays for recording your ideas, playing the roles of an explorer, artist, judge, or a lawyer, and engaging in an appropriate physical exercise, as the case might be. And this is what we are enabling upon every now and then, every moment here and there. Establishing a climate and culture for creative thinking, essential for carrying the organization vision, and its mission statement can be divided into two parts. One, that of leadership practice. Second, methods for managing creative workers, as the case might be. And this is what we are looking forward to it. This is exactly what is the requirement of the. So leadership practice for enhancing creativity. How do we go about it? First, hire people with a creative bent of mind. Hire people who are willing to take risks. Hire people who shows ample amount of knowledge in their own domain. These are the people to be tested upon, and challenge them once they have come on board. Challenge them with their intellect. Empower them to take their own method, try and test it then, and support them for their task accomplishment. Every time a task get accomplished, you should publicly absolutely appraise them and ensure that their work has been appreciated by one and like everyone. Provide a realistic timeline and adequate resources in cases of work that needs to be taken care of. You should be clearly giving a wonderful timeline. Be realistic about it. Give disposals of resources at their disposal. Keep resources at their disposal as and what they may require. Ensure that they are very much clear about what are the end objectives that the organization is soliciting. So design work teams with the right chemistry. When I say right chemistry, people should come from different walks of life and they should bring unique talent with themselves when they are working together. Allow, encourage, praise creative individual. Yes, which I have been trying to tell it to you. Praise them, appraise them, probably abjectly appreciate their viewpoints and probably their commitment. Allow, encourage, reward, in fact recognize creative organizational from top down, and have a favorable exchange with the creative workers as on when on basis. This is of the utmost requirement of the body. Everyone would love to work around with it. So let us understand how to manage similar workforce, people with creativity in their gene or DNA. Give the people tools, the resources that will allow their work to stand out. Remember, creative people are flexible. They have a minimum amount of structure. They do not want to work with a particular regime in mind. Give gentle feedback when turning down an idea as to what should have been working or what was unexpected. Do not outrightly criticize them. Employ creative people to manage and evaluate the creative workers. It is no wonder that the creative people themselves can understand the nuances of others creative people. It might be helpful in allowing a creative person managing another creative person. So let us have initiative to enhance innovation. Remember, creativity, innovation, and leadership is the topic of discussion in this presentation, and that is what we are talking in terms of the leadership and initiatives. Now, first is continuously pursue innovation. This is what we are akin to. Continuously pursue innovation. Yes, there will be times when there will be setbacks. Yes, there will be time when you will not be achieving the desired objective, but that doesn't mean you will never see your efforts going not going to be successful at all. That is something unheard of. I am sure most of the unsuccessful innovation that leads to one success, and believe me or not, that one success is worth the whole lot of failure that the creative person must have encountered. Take risk, encourage risk taking, as the case might be. Now, this is what the leadership initiative should always be talking about it. Emphasize on collaborations among employees as on when on basis. Emphasize on the collaboration. Acquire innovative companies who are working at the edge of the technologies. Acquire people who are working in the best of the framework. So next would be avoid innovations for its own sake. Now, don't be very selfish when you're looking into it. Always remember, innovation should be for the betterment of the environment, betterment of the flora and the fauna, betterment of the society and the community at large scale. It should be marketable. Keep that in mind. Adopt a loose, tight leadership as on when on basis. You should keep everybody in a loose rein, but never lose the focus and the control over it. You see where are the resources been consumed and how the resources have been consumed. Take a tight leash upon it. Gently prod if things are not going in a right fashion or a desired fashion. Integrate development and production as the case might be. Recognize, remember, this is most important, your hidden opportunities. What are the products and ideas? When do the products and ideas flop? This is the time when you should discuss it out. You new discussions with creative people will actually give you a viable insights, absolutely bright insight about what needs to be done and how it needs to be improved upon it. So let us wind it up before we finish up this uh, presentation. Let us have the next three slides of summary to be taken care of. Creative leaders bring forth ideas that did not exist earlier. So a creative process involves 5 steps. 1, opportunities or problem recognition. 2, immersion. 3, incubation. 4 insight, and the last one is verification and application. Again, I repeat, opportunities of problem recognition, immersion, incubation, insight, and verification and application. Next would be all having the right characteristics that improves the chances of a person being a creative problem solver or a creative leader. So have the right ambience within the organization that would be inducing persons to take the risk, calculated risk, at the same time ensure that things are at a marketable ideas, marketable products, which is viable for the community and this organization alike. Creativity requires overcoming traditional thinking. Thinking out of the box is the fundamental requirement of creativity. There are several organization and self-help group that helps in creative thinking and problem solving. Yes, problem when you communicate with like-minded people, things get lighter, eventually visible, and probably your thought getting streamlined altogether. Let us come to the very last slide. We'll talk about the effective leadership. Remember, this is where you are looking to set up the right tempo, absolute vibrant environment for problem solving, for thinking out of the box. Special attention should be paid to managing creative workers. In fact, a creative managers can better manage your creative workers than any other person can obviously do about it. So leaders can enhance innovations. Leaders are the one who can ensure that the organization coming up with vibrant products which will be loved by the community and the society alike at one and the same go. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video.